Hey there, this is Bobby Hunt, 3bluelightdiet.com. In this quick video, I'm going to show you a really neat way to check in on your VDR receptors, your vitamin D genes, and see if they are functioning optimally or maybe not so well in terms of generating vitamin D. So a VDR gene, basically it provides instructions for making the proteins called vitamin D receptors, which allow your body to produce vitamin D. Now, these genes have something in them called single nucleotide polymorphisms, or SNPs. And a SNP is basically a slight variation or alteration in the gene that causes it to act a certain way. Okay, so researchers have found SNPs that may help predict an individual's response to certain drugs, susceptibility to environmental factors, risk of developing particular diseases, blah, blah, blah. So, in other words, the reason you might be low on vitamin D is because of a genetic issue called a SNP, an SNP. So how do you even go about finding that out? Well, there's a very neat website that I use. All right. It's called Self Decode. You can go to bluelightdetox.com/DNA to sign up, and you should get a good discount. But here is the website. So basically what you do is you either take your DNA from, if you did a 23andMe, you can upload it to this website, or you can use their DNA kit and you upload it to their site, and then they generate tons of reporting on your genetics for you in terms of health. Now, one of the neat things they do is make these things called DNA wellness reports. And right now there's, maybe like 25 of them. There's one on cognitive function, one on mood, one on minerals, one on sleep, one on cardiovascular, inflammation, longevity, cancer, gut health, fitness, headaches, migraines, pain, food sensitivity. And all this, it generates a report on the topic based on your genetic profile. So I want to show you, I did their vitamin report, and here is my report, and it gives you a summary, and it lists all these vitamins, and it says based on your specific SNPs in your genetic profile, what you're at risk for and what you're not at risk for. So vitamin D here, it turns out I am at a slightly increased risk of vitamin D deficiency because I have some of the SNPs that lead to that deficiency. So they go over what they found, and here are my SNPs, and the GT SNP right here, RS2282679, has a moderately decreased level of vitamin D generation. Okay, so I know I've got a SNP that causes a little bit of a problem with vitamin D. So then I'd have to go and check my levels, number one. If my levels are good, well then obviously I'm doing enough to make up for that problem. If they're not good, then I might have to do a little more in terms of vitamin D generation. The next thing they have on this system is a personalized genetics blog. So they have all these articles on certain conditions, and then the articles are automatically updated based on your genetic profile. So here's an article. It says, can genes contribute to vitamin D deficiency? So our D status score based on my profile is not so smiley face. Okay, so if we scroll down here, it tells me all about my vitamin D genes and the SNPs. It tells me what I have to worry about, and then here's my actual personalized SNP table for the vitamin D genes. And we see this guy right here, not a smiley face, a frown. So that is an issue for me. So the summary says, based on the variants we looked at, your GC gene is associated with slightly lower vitamin D levels. However, this doesn't necessarily reflect your overall vitamin D status, just one gene related to it. So recommendations then based on that apparently bad gene I have related to vitamin D: increase your protein intake, consume more calcium-rich food, consume more vitamin D-rich foods, and spend more time in the sun, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes into more, it gets more in depth. Here's another article: is the vitamin D gene linked to lifespan? If we scroll down, they take all of those genes that in the research are related to that question, and then you get your report at the bottom. And looks like I'm average risk for all that stuff. It says somewhat associated with longevity in certain ethnic groups. All right, great. One more article. This one's neat. This is can this gene prevent you from fat burning? So if you're having a problem with burning fat, the VDR gene has been shown to interfere with that, and then you can find out if your gene has an issue there. The next thing that's neat about this site is that it's got a symptoms and conditions analyzer. So after you upload your DNA, you can type in your symptoms, and then it'll find all the genes related to that symptoms, and you can be a detective from there. The lab test analyzer tool is fantastic. All your blood lab work, you upload it here, and you just keep it with you on you at all times. It tracks, it makes suggestions, it blends with your genetic information. It's very cool stuff. So this thing, it costs $97 a year or $297 for lifetime access. You can if you don't have 23andMe already, you can add a DNA test kit. But this is a very simple way to check out your vitamin D genes, the receptors, and any SNPs or SNPs related to them that might be causing you problems with generating vitamin D. But remember, your genes aren't set in stone. It's really epigenetics. It's really the environment you surround yourself with every day that can turn off or turn on those bad genes, if you want to call them, in your body. But this self-decode is a fantastic way, an easy way to figure all that stuff out. So you can probably get a discount. I don't know the code yet. I'll put it under this video when I get it. bluelightdetox.com/DNA.